So basically I had this huge suitcase that I could probably fit in it myself. And let's say about 3/4 of things that were in there, I couldn't use. Hi guys, and welcome to another video. First of all, I want to say that I actually have no foundation on my face today because I had my third laser treatment for rosacea. If you haven't seen this video, it's up there so you can go and see what I'm doing to my face. Because it's still a fresh wound, I'm not allowed to apply anything on my face. So if my skin looks slightly different in this video, this is why, because I actually did my eyes and I did a bit of a concealer under the eyes to just kind of make my skin look nicer, but I don't have anything on my cheeks. And close up you can actually see there are some little scars and bumps there, but hopefully from where you're sitting right now it looks okay. We're going to talk about shopping and fashion later in this video, but first I want to take you around a bit because this city is so beautiful and is really not on any tourist map, and it really should be. As I said in my previous video, I was there for work, for my TV work. I was learning certain technical things, how to film and stuff. And the fun part was we had to do like a proper report, a proper sequence, and I started with this. As you can see, is Winter Wonderland here in Iași in Romania. Now this Sunday, contemporary classical adventure will hit the city for the 6th time in a row. So this is from my official TV report, and while I was filming this, it was, as you can tell, was really, snow was coming down really hard. And then after this we went to this really great university. Is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, in whole of Romania. Is really an amazing building, and we had interviews in there for like 2 hours. So we were indoors, you couldn't see outside, and then we came out and this is what waited for us. So there was no more snow, nothing practically left on the ground, and the sun was shining, which is great for, you know, if you are a tourist. But if you're actually trying to film a coherent sequence of events, it's a nightmare. So I just left it in there that it's a winter wonderland, even though 2 hours later there was no winter wonderland left. But you know, that's TV work for you. Because I was in Iași as a journalist, is part of the circumregional workshop, we also visited the local TV station. And what do you know, they have a morning show there as well. So I couldn't help myself. I had to ask the lovely presenter there, Anka, at what time do they start their show?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Do you hear that, people? 9 a.m. And then I sent this clip to all of my co-workers because we actually start at 7. And even though it doesn't really seem like a lot earlier, if you start at 7, that means you have to be at work at 5. And if you do not live like across the road from it and you have dogs, hello, that you have to take care of them in the morning, that means you actually get up around 3:30, which in my book, even though I have been doing morning show for many, many years, 3 o'clock in the morning, it's not a time to get up, okay? I know I'm not in my teens anymore, but to me, 3 o'clock in the morning, the only time you are allowed to be up at that hour is if you are in a bar, preferably from last night. So that's really not, it's really not my character to be happy to get up at that hour, because some people are morning people, they are really reveling in the, you know, the rise of the new day. If this is one of you, please tell me how you do it, because after 20 plus years, I'm still so not happy when I have to get up anytime before 9. And this is every day. I can never sleep in, even during the weekend. So Yeah, irony of life, right? Let me just take you back to Iași for a few more minutes. So I really, really loved the city. I mean, some of the buildings were just like so wow. I couldn't stop just having my eyes wide open and looking at them because they were so big, so well preserved, like they're really taking care of their buildings. And you know, the main attraction in the city is Palace of Culture. And that building was renovated up until a few years ago. The renovation finished, so it really looks like brand new. And it's huge. It has like 300 rooms or something, and it's like 36,000 square meters. It's just insane, insane building. And lovely to be in there. We actually went all the way up to the towers. So this is me hiding behind the huge clock in the tower. And I really love that experience. They also have great churches. I mean, one of them has a museum underneath the church. So you can actually walk around the perimeter of the church underneath the church. It's like so bizarre but amazing at the same time. And you also have loads of working monastery, and they are right in the center of the city, which is not common in my country. I mean, we have some sort of a monasteries here as well, but they're more secluded and they're not usually open to public. It's just, you know, they're monasteries, so they're not meant for tourists to visit. But this, you actually can go in, and it's just such a beautiful building. I really enjoyed looking at that. And I had a perfect guide because I actually made a new friend in Iași. Steliana, I'm so happy we met. She was my guide for the one day that I had off because we were working 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. practically every day. I also had a cold, which is not a very great situation when you have a crazy workload. I'm still not over it, as you can probably hear, but you know, I'm getting much better, and it is a cold. So it's annoying, but it's not like you have to lie in bed and just do nothing. So, you know, I'll push through. But still, I had the best of times. That's always nice if you go somewhere and you can actually meet someone and keep in touch and just kind of, you know, spread your knowledge and your friends circle. That's always something I like to do. I'm gonna go now into my style, no S at the end, because I think I wore the same thing practically all the time, because I checked the weather before we left, and it looked like it's going to be between 0 and 5 degrees Celsius for most of the time that I'll be there. So I packed for that kind of temperatures. But then we had, like, I would say on average -10, -12. That was like the average temperature for the duration of our stay. And 3/4 of things that I brought were just not usable because I would freeze to death. Even though we were not there as tourists, even though we were indoors for most of the day, I wanted to go and explore the city, and I couldn't because it was freezing. So on the last day, when I had a few hours off and I could actually go and explore, this is where all the footage came from. Like the tourist footage that you see is just from this one day, because the rest of the times that we were outside, we were filming specific things for our workshop. So it was not like sightseeing. We had to figure out how to get quickly from point A to point B, how to get interviews and things like that. So it was really not a time to just enjoy your environment and do a touristy stuff. But I did film a few bits of it because I needed it for my workshop. And even being outside for like 5 minutes, it was just too cold. I didn't came properly prepared. So if you're gonna go there, I advise you to go like in the spring. That's what Steliana told me as well, because summers tend to be really, really hot, especially in the last years. I think most of the Europe has heat waves, and winters are really cold. So even though you can, you know, get like proper clothes for it, it was just not something I was prepared for. So most of my clothes came back the way I packed them going there. Luckily, I had this Lawrence Gray black wool coat that's actually very warm. I had my gloves, but I didn't have any headwear because, again, I didn't anticipate that it's going to be that cold. And I only wear things on my head when it's like really cold. So we don't judge anyone on this channel. I'm not into fur. I mean, I like leather, but fur I never wear. But if this is something that you actually wear and you're interested, there's a bit of information you might find useful. So shopping wise, shops are really not an option because they actually have exactly the same things that we have everywhere else in Europe. I mean, luxury is non-existent. The highest brands that I was able to find in this huge shopping center were Michael Kors, Tommy Hilfiger, and Massimo Dutti. So this is like the highest level that you will find in Iași shopping-wise. But they had actually quite a lot of cool things on their market. The problem was that you can only pay by cash and they do not have euro. So, you know, if you're going to go and shop there, keep it in mind to check with your bank what the commission is for withdrawal on ATMs, or bring some cash with you, because, you know, euros are not going to be any good there. Obviously, it's Romania. I mean, it's European Union, but they don't have euros. And on the market, they had, while I was talking about fur, on the market, they had, you know, if you want to pull this Carol Middleton, Kate Middleton look on your head, they had tons of these things. They had like fur hats by the hundreds. So just so you know, that in Iași should actually have a lot of that available. Getting around was really easy. It's very easy to navigate bus or trams. Taxis are also available as well. I mean, from the airport to the city center, the taxi was like 10 euros. So again, it's not that expensive. I wouldn't recommend taking a taxi inside the city because, you know, buses are very cheap and trams, and it's quite easy to navigate in which direction you want to go. So taxis might actually add up a bit if you want to use them throughout the city. And also the main part of the city where most of the things you want to see are on one street. So there's really no need to go in other parts of the city. It's a university city, so they have like 5 universities, so there's a lot of students. But cultural and like history-wise, there's like one street you need to hit, and this is this street that actually has Palace of Culture on it as well. As I said in my previous video, shopping was not the reason why I went there, but because this is a fashion channel and because I like to discover new brands and new styles, of course I had to look into that as well. But I didn't really expect much, and I was kind of justified because shopping wise is really, even though they have like I think 3 huge shopping centers, they're really, really big. The shops there are the same that we are used to. Maybe you could have like some local cosmetics and things like that, but I wouldn't count on like doing a huge shopping spree. So if you're gonna go there, go for the culture and the vibe and the city itself. So, all right, it's Oscar night tonight. I'm not gonna stay up and watch it because I actually have a meeting tomorrow morning at 8, so I cannot do that, but I will definitely do a recap, and I will try to do my red carpet looks analysis and debating and talking about red carpets as soon as possible. But Tuesday is show day, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to film this video before Wednesday. So hopefully it's not going to be too late when I finally manage to film and actually get it out there. But I'm looking forward to some red carpets looks because I was looking at SAG Awards and BAFTAs, and I found it really interesting how different red carpets are in UK and LA. They're worlds apart. And we will kind of combine all the red carpets from like SAG Awards and BAFTAs and Oscars. But like I said, I'm guessing that video is probably not going to be up before next weekend because I don't think I'm going to have time to film it. But I'm going to try to include a lot of red carpets just to make it worthwhile for you, because you're going to have to wait longer than usual, because the YouTube people usually just post these videos the morning after the red carpet. But because I'm in Europe, red carpet starts at like 2 o'clock in the morning, so it's just not doable. So thank you for watching. Let me know if you ever been to Romania and specifically Iași, and of course, are you going to watch the Oscars? What are your hopes for winners? I mean, I really hope the Substance will win big. I would really be happy for Demi Moore. I think she's long overdue to get her Oscars. So no disrespect to any of the other nominees, of course. I mean, all the ladies did their jobs amazingly, but you know, Demi Moore is definitely my favorite. And you know, for certain awards, I get to chime in my votes as well. Not for the Oscars, sadly, but for others. And I voted for her in any, you know, awards that I was available to. So, and, you know, she won some, so I'm happy. So have a great day, guys, and, you know, enjoy your Sunday, and I will see you in the next video.